Gray is good. Black and white thinking is not. Your all or nothing mindset is why you're not going to make it. I actually touched on this in an earlier episode about perfectionism. They're related, but this is technically different. Essentially, the all or nothing mindset is when people think in extremes, either 100% success or 0% failure. Let's say you're trying to lose 30 pounds in 7 months. 7 months hits and you've lost 28 pounds. You think, fuck, I failed. This is a complete failure. I'm shit. That's all or nothing thinking 100%. Instead of thinking, okay, I didn't hit it, but I did pretty well. So you take in the not so good with the good. It's gray, like life. That sounds depressing, but you know what I mean. There's a spectrum to good and bad in life in terms of your experience and your thinking. And this comes into play a lot when people try to lose weight or get fit. They think, okay, I'm going to commit to this, and if I don't hit it, I'm a fucking failure. Setting those kinds of expectations for yourself is it's almost a guarantee of failure. Now, so for some people, it can be helpful saying, I must do this. It can get them going, can help build discipline. But real life makes it so that nothing can happen all the time or nothing can happen never. Which means that if your mind is still stuck in needs to be all of this or none of this, then it's going to end poorly. The main issue with all or nothing thinking is that most of the time it ends up being nothing. Let's say you want to start going to the gym and exercising. Say, okay, I'm going to start 4 times a week. Cool. Shit happens. You can only go 3 times a week. Fuck, I'm a failure. And then even if next week you continue with the 4 times, for that week where you do 3, you're going to be thinking, oh my God, I'm a failure. I'm a fucking loser. I'm a bad person. This is not really effective. I missed a day. None of this is worth a damn. I should maybe give up. I don't know. It's wild. It keeps people in a negative circle or a negative cycle because something happens that you don't want. It doesn't fit the perfect thing that you want, the all. So you feel bad about it. Feeling bad affects you in many different ways, which means maybe your performance or your adherence to whatever goal you're trying to achieve is not going to be 100%. Again, not all. And you're just going to keep doing that until you actually hit fucking 0 for real, instead of just feeling like it. All or nothing thinking actually makes you stupider because it kind of robs you of building your mind a bit, increasing your cognition. Let's say with problem solving, right? Let's say you're playing a video game or something, or a puzzle in any other context. You're playing Uncharted and you're pushing boxes around and shit, right? You solved 2 of the 3 rooms. You're like, fuck, I can't do this one. Fuck, I'm stupid. And then you just stop. And you just give up. You turn it into a nothing because you couldn't get the all. What you could do is just realize you're in a gray area here. Pause, come back later, or just think more, whatever. And then you can work at it and improve your brain's problem-solving abilities. Instead of just thinking, oh, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't everything, I'm done, goodbye. Your brain just learns to stop trying if you don't get all of what you want. And this also comes into play with self-esteem. You think, oh, I'm not perfect, I'm not insert idol here, so I'm a piece of shit. Cool. I guess I'll act like a piece of shit because I am. Instead of thinking, hey, I'm better than X, but I could possibly work towards Y. And people who fall for who have this all or nothing mindset, usually perfectionists who think this needs to be perfect or I'm just not gonna do it. Imagine I had that mindset with this. If I waited for this to be perfect before putting it out, I would never, ever, ever put it out. I can't have it all. I have the perfect editing, perfect thumbnail, perfect sound quality. I can't have it. So maybe I shouldn't have put it out to begin with, right? Wrong. And if one of you guys said fucking right in that pause, fuck you. Even now, this is still not, it's not all or the best it could possibly be. It's not perfect, right? But I'm putting it out there because I love to hear myself talk. I'm kidding. It's because I hope some of these words can help people out. And based on some comments over the last year, I have helped a couple people out, which is nice. But imagine I'm like, if I can't have everything I want in a podcast, put it out there, I'm just not gonna do it. Then I guess those people are fucked. They don't get that help. You don't get to have your ears graced with my voice. And I'm not just talking about this shitty podcast. I'm talking about in general, social media, life, creating art. People think, oh man, I can't put out this super perfect edited picture. I'm just not going to share this, I guess, because they have that all or nothing mindset. I actually know someone who suffers from this, and it's debilitating. They're a musician, and they have, man, I want to say like 20 unreleased songs because they just want to make sure it's the best it can be. It's got all the mixing, mastering perfect, all the vocal effects that they want, make sure it's all it can be. And because of that, nothing is released. And if you're listening to this podcast, please release some of the music. It's fucking good. It's cool. But this can affect people in that way. Like I said, if you're expecting all, you're probably going to get nothing. Because nothing can be all. I think I just confused myself. Not things cannot be all the time. I think I just confused myself again. Okay. All or nothing mindset, right? If you're expecting all, probably not going to happen. Since the only other option is nothing, that's what you're probably going to get most of the time. So if you have really rigid, inflexible thinking, that's going to affect you too. For example, for my day job, there's a pool, there's a sauna available. But I was stuck for like a year thinking, no, all my cardio has to be running for this exact amount of time, for this exact amount of distance. That's all of my cardio. If I'm not going to even do that running, I'm just not going to do cardio then in that case. Stuck in this, in that stupid mindset. And then I just thought, let me try to be flexible. Instead of running, I swam. And I'm like, that's fucking cool. And I'm still healthy. I didn't die or anything. It's all good. Nice. So I'll do that. The pool's unavailable, then I'll do the running thing, whatever. Be flexible. It doesn't have to be all one thing or not at all. And on that same topic too, if let's say the pool is closed, the track thing was closed too. By the way, I work at a place that has these, in the building too. I'm not traveling to some big ass gym with this stuff in it. Thankfully, I work at a college, so it's all right there. But if it were closed, the stuff, I wouldn't be like, damn it, today's a fucking waste. This week sucks. I couldn't do my cardio. And then think my entire week of exercise is a complete failure. No, I'd be like, well, guess I'll do a different form tomorrow. And that's more helpful because then it actually gets done. Instead of, failure, fuck this, then I don't get the cardio in at all. There's the nothing there. So you got to be in between all and nothing to actually make some progress in real life. Let's go to the devil's advocate here. Let me try this to make it clearer that it's not me saying this. The all or nothing mindset can help with motivation. Clear rules can keep some people on track in the short term. That's actually true. It can for some people, but for a lot of people, if they start at 0 and you say, all right, let's start at 100, then, or jump to 100, then it's gonna be kind of tough. So this is a true sentence though, but it's not how it would go for everyone. It doesn't work that way for everyone. It simplifies decisions under pressure, forcing quick action or unambiguous standards. I'm not sure about that. I think when you're under pressure is when you need flexibility the most. Because if you're trying to hit an all, that's 100%. So if you're under pressure, obviously there are some things that are not ideal that are happening, whether it's time-based, personality-based, whatever it is. Something is already off a bit. So you already, by default, cannot hit 100%. Maybe you can hit 98%, whatever. So no, I don't think All or nothing thinking is helpful under pressure. It's probably worse, honestly. It provides black and white standards where ambiguity feels stressful or overwhelming. Maybe for some people, but I personally think having it be black and white makes it more stressful or overwhelming because there's no, basically, if you don't hit all, it's nothing. It's not fun. It can foster high achievement if channeled properly in structured, short-term contexts, like sports. Yeah, it's the same as the first one. The whole, it can help with motivation in the short term. Maybe for some people, but I think having more flexibility so that consistency can stay high instead of just the achievement will be more helpful for that long-term prosperity. That's just me though. Anyway, black and white thinking is linked. Give you some numbers here. I hope black and white thinking is linked to a significantly higher risk in anxiety and depressive disorders because it's one of the cognitive distortions. If you've heard of that, I don't know if he coined this, but Dr. David Burns, he has a list of like 10 cognitive distortions, all or nothing thinking being one of them. That basically, it's a way of thinking that's, I don't want to say wrong. I do want to say wrong, but I shouldn't. It's a way of thinking that's not helpful, and it's not quite based in reality. It's more like taking a weird assumption or a little thought that you shouldn't really be thinking and running with it really far. So yeah, this can lead to people being depressed as hell because they're not thinking in reality. They're thinking in whatever the hell their thoughts are telling them and then running with that alternate reality in their head. Approximately 1 in 6 adults experience significant cognitive distortions, including all or nothing thinking, that impact their daily function. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you're thinking, oh, all or nothing, it's going to affect you every day, every hour. Studies show that up to 1/4 of people who have a diagnosed anxiety disorder suffer from all or nothing thinking. Again, leading to what I was saying, or going back to what I was saying, yeah, some of these things can be helpful for people. The all or nothing thinking for discipline or motivation or something, but to think that 98% is not good enough, it's equal to 0, is going to cause you some mental anguish. So it's not great. And social media use has been shown to exacerbate all or nothing thinking because there's a million people out there, some of which are fake, to show you unrealistic comparisons and you just feel like a loser and all this kind of stuff. It's even worse these days with AI and deep fakes as well. Remember when deep fakes were really popular a couple years ago? Now we don't say that anymore. We just say AI as a catch-all for that, even though that's kind of the same, using the same way. But yeah, there's a lot of AI accounts. I can't tell you how many AI pictures of people I've seen. I'm like, that's clearly fake. People are falling for it. That's unfortunate. And if you're comparing yourself, if you're like, all or nothing is like AI or nothing, like, I can't reach that AI standard of beauty or strength or whatever the fuck, then I'm a piece of shit. People are going to be thinking like that in the future. So that'll be cool. And by future, I mean in, maybe a year from when this comes out. In high stress or competitive settings, the self-reported prevalence of all or nothing thinking could reach 40%. So over a third of people say that when they're stressed, they're thinking in all or nothing ways. So fuck you, devil's advocate. Logic wins. So how do you beat this? How do you avoid this? You can remember that there's nothing that is perfect, nothing that is everything it needs to be. There's nothing that can be described as all. Period. So don't even bother with that. Think about it this way, and it won't be a big enough bar for you. But just think about it this way. The bar is at 0. Anything above that is cool. Now don't be lazy. What I'm saying is, don't think anything below 100, as in 99, is dog shit. Think anything above 0 is cool. And if you want to do more, then do more. Because if you're getting up to 99, 98% in the all, and it counts as a fucking nothing to you, you're stressing yourself out for no reason. So might as well start at nothing and then move up from there. That way, at least you have a sense of progress and an idea of what it takes to get where, all this kind of stuff. Think in terms of grade, think in terms of spectrums and nuance, in details, flexibility. Think in terms of that. That's what you need for just life in general. Focus on the progress. If you consistently get, let's say, 75% instead of the all, that's way better than the person who hits 98% once and they give up because they consider it a failure and then they hit 0 for a month. You, who's hitting 75 every single day, you're going to win. Statistically, you will win. So do that. Again, imperfect consistency will always win over perfect consistency sometimes, or perfect perfection sometimes. Can't have consistency sometimes, can you? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I hope you make it. Let me know in the comments. Do you suffer from all or nothing thinking? You probably do. So tell me in terms of what? Exercise, food, work, relationships, family? I've mostly gotten over that, to be honest. If there's a part of it that doesn't hit the all, it's like, whatever. I'll live. Anyway, see you next time.